Welcome to StreetMotoZ. This is another video for the Safe series, and it's called 7 Ways of Taking Your Bike to the Edge of the Envelope. So whenever you take your bike to the edge of the envelope, that means you don't have much left, much options. You can't brake, you can't speed up, you can't turn. You're pretty much committed to driving at the speed that you're driving, and you can't do much about it. You just have to deal with what you have in front of you. A big example of that is cornering. If you go into a corner and you go into the corner pretty fast and you're leaning and you're giving it, you know, pretty much just about everything you got on that corner, if you run into any gravel, or if a little animal runs on the road, or if there's a pothole in front of you, you don't have many options. You're just going to have to deal with it and hope that you're going to be okay. If that gravel gets on the road, you probably get slung off the road. If the pothole's on the road, you're just going to have to go right through it, or veer off into the woods. Or maybe you have a little left in the envelope and you can turn and swerve and miss it. But being careful around corners is good, and not trying to take the corner at the maximum speed that you're able to take it at. That kind of stuff is good for the track, but on the street, it's not safe. So don't take your bike to the edge of the envelope on corners. Number 2, excessive speed. If you're hauling butt on your motorcycle and a car pulls out in front of you, you need to make sure you can stop, or you can at least swerve and miss the car. Excessive speed can also get you into trouble when coming up and passing other cars, because they may not see you coming up on them so quickly, and you've exceeded the edge of the envelope for your bike, your speed, and you're unable to stop. Number 3, going too fast on poor road quality. There are good roads and there are bad roads, and there are probably many more bad roads than good roads. This road I'm on here is pretty good. There's no potholes, there's rarely any gravel, so it's pretty safe. But a lot of roads will have gravel or potholes, or interstates will have grooves in them, or it could be rainy conditions. And if you're going fast on those roads, you can get in trouble pretty quick. You're getting to the edge of the envelope and you could end up getting in trouble. Grooves on the highway can start to pull you in one direction or the other direction. Sometimes there's uneven pavement on that highway too, and hitting that at a high speed could be dangerous. You want to try to cross over any of the uneven pavement as much perpendicular as you can. You don't want to cross over it parallel, kind of lining up to it, because it might pull your bike in one direction and you go in the other. So watch out for the roads. Don't go too fast on a bad road. There could be a big pothole coming up, or there could be a big bump in the road. Another way of exceeding the envelope is when you're giving too much brake to the front tire. If you end up braking real fast and you lock up that front tire, you better release that brake really quick and get back on it and progressively brake. If you lock up that front tire, your tire could whip to the left or whip to the right, and you just go over the bike, and that's not good. You don't want to exceed the envelope on front braking. Rear braking, you can lock up the back brake if you press too hard on it, or if you're starting to slow down a good bit and all your weight transfers up front, it's easy to lock up the back brake. It's not as big of an issue, But if you get a little bit sideways, try to straighten out before you release that rear brake. The back tire could grip while the rear is sideways, and it could whip the back end back in position so quickly it could throw you off the bike. So try to not exceed the envelope on front braking. Try to not exceed the envelope on back braking. There's another issue when you're exceeding the envelope on front braking, is if your tire is really grippy, you could do an ND. Your back end could come off the ground, and if you don't release a little bit of that brake pressure, that back end can go all the way over, and so your back end just flips over and you flip over with your bike, and that's a bad accident. Those are not fun. I haven't had one of those. I don't want to have one of those. Number 7, if you're accelerating really fast and your front end gets up and you're doing a wheelie, you better ease up off that gas, because you can end up looping your bike. That back tire could keep going forward and that front tire could keep going backward, and you just end up off the back of the bike and your bike loops. You don't want that. So try to not exceed any of the envelopes on your motorcycle. Try to not get too close to the edge, because it's always good to have a little bit left in the tank in case you need it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the ride, baby! Woo! Yeah! Still got my Dragonfly, buddy.